Hello fellow YouTubers, as you see on my table I have a good few goodies, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do an overview of this Kamera Dolly. Then we're going to have a look at one of these two devices, so stabilizer and the LED light. All of these products are really great because they are very affordable. Actually, they're very cheap and they work. And they do give some value to your production or whatever video you really guys doing, whether it's a family, whether it's some sort of amateur video for preparing for production or something like that. Nothing for professional, obviously, because these are not professional tools, but they're really nice to try them out a little bit and maybe see what you guys need in the future. So first things first, the dolly. So it looks like so. I'm going to show you a picture when I received it from the eBay, how it looked like. Now, one thing, as you probably noticed from the picture, is there was a good bit of oil. Not sure what kind of oil, like a machine oil or something like that on the dolly. There's still a little bit of residue of that left. I actually cleaned it with rubbing alcohol or isopropyl or whatever it's called, alcohol, and it's fine. I think it's also called medical spirit. So I cleaned everything and now it's fine. There's not really much residue left, and that's a good thing. Now, I think this all oil was because of the machining process. Obviously, when you're buying something like this for $15 or €15 with the delivery, you're not expecting the highest quality because you're talking about 4 wheels, each with a bearing, aluminum machine parts, things like that. So you're expecting some corners to be cut. And one of these corners is basically when the item was finished, it wasn't properly cleaned. But once again, you can do it yourself. That's not a problem. So there, it looks like this. You have 2 screws here, which you can loosen up a bit, and you can basically collapse it if you want the wheelbase to be shorter. Each of the bolts here, you can loosen them up, and you can adjust the wheels for an angle. Now basically guys, sorry, for those of you who are not 100% sure what this is used for, is you put the camera basically here. There's a camera 1/4" thread already. We're going to talk a little bit about that and the camera head later. But basically you put the camera on and you find some nice and clean surface. And once you slide it and film it, the footage looks very nice and smooth, and you can have different types of, let's say, a B-roll, it's called, to add to your whatever video you're doing. And it really adds and it really adds to your production value, whether it's, as I said, whether you're amateur or whether you're doing something for, I don't know, for school, for your business or whatever it is. It will add some value in comparison to not having one at all. And because it's only €15, $15, it's really affordable and there's no reason not to get one. Another thing what you can do is, if you adjust the wheels like so, by the way, guys, I will give you some tip here. If you want to go perfectly about an object, let's say this is the object that you want to go around and film without losing a track. To align this, what you need to do is these 2 axes need to point directly at the object. And that way, this will go perfectly around the object. And obviously when you have a camera, and you have it set it up on the tripod head, you're going to have a very nice footage of the object that is not moving, but you're having a 360-degree view. So that's nice. Also, what you could use this for really is like a slider replacement, especially when you're on holidays. The only thing what you will need to have with you some sort of thick-ish material where you could lay it on the floor or whatever, maybe at the hotel or even on the street. So the wheels would not have, uneven surface, which is pretty much everywhere. And you need as clean and as even surface as possible, obviously, for this, because you have 4 rubberized wheels. Now, they will, in theory, they should absorb, whatever uneven things you have, whether it's a little stones or dust or something like that on your surface. However, in practice, it's not quite so. If you apply a lot of weight on these, then they will function as supposed to. But when you have just a camera, there's not enough weight and there's not enough absorption to actually benefit from these wheels. So I would advise to make sure that the surface is clean. Now, the wheels are not of the best quality, but what's very nice about this product, and actually about all these products on the table, is that as you see here, you have a Allen type bolt. Now, I'll give you some tips here, actually, just give me 1 second and I'm back. So this thing is, by the way, included, and this you will need to use for, let's see, not for this, to loosen up these bits. What is not included is if you want to remove these bolts here, and they're both removable, they're Allen type as well. And what you need is, if I'm not mistaken, this number 5. Now, I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. It says here CRVR5, but basically this type of head to undo these. So to remove basically not only the washers, but to remove the bolts themselves. I use that because I wanted to properly clean it. And for the wheels, this is actually much smaller, and this tool included does not fit. What you need to have is something like this. I'm going to give you also the name of this, and it's 2.5, which is a bit unusual. I don't know, guys, if you can see it. It's 2.5, which is a bit unusual head, but that's what it is. And if I'm not mistaken, it's just a hexagon 2.5, whatever, it's millimeters. I'm not sure how it's measured, but these are the two tools that you will need if you want to completely disassemble it. So that's that. So big plus for this device, that you can actually completely disassemble it, that the screws are there. It's not just welded or something like that, so you wouldn't be able to remove it. There's not much weight, and I think it's actually aluminum, which is also a big plus in my book. And if you really want something nice, what you need to do is, when you buy them, there might be little imperfections around the wheels, a little bit of rubber there left from the manufacturing. So what you can do is you can simply roll around some rough surface, and that will even them up, and that will be fine. However, more importantly, you will need obviously a head, because if you just attach the camera here, there's two problems. One, camera is very low. Two, you probably will have wheels in your field of view, so that's not what you want. What you want is something like this, and that's the tripod adapter, so-called, and this thing is probably about $1 on eBay. You can actually in some cases find a bunch of these for like $2 or $3 on eBay, and they're very handy to have. For instance, this one obviously allows you to have tripod head there, which is nice. You put it on and you just use a simple screwdriver to tighten it, or you can just leave it as it is, it's fine. And then you can use your tripod head. By the way, I did a review of this tripod head, so have a look at that. And that's about $12 or $15. I'm not 100% sure now. And you can put that on this. And now you can basically secure it properly, and you can point your camera wherever you want, tighten this nut, and then use it for your video, which is great. However, some things you might want to think about as well. If you use something like this, even on the top of that, I suppose, you could heighten the whole thing a little bit, and you will need to do that sooner or later, and I'll tell you now why. Or even better, do invest in a friction arm. Have a look on eBay, there's plenty of them around. And what that would do is, if you are reviewing a small object, for instance, something like this, obviously you put it in the middle, put your camera on, you do your whatever dolly shots you want, whether it's around or like this in parallel, and it's fine. However, imagine your object is somewhere here, and now it's not good enough because you're not gonna get proper footage. You're going to be pointing up and it's not going to be nice. Even like, for instance, like a flower pot or something like this, if you're going to go around flower pot, you're going to be looking up from the bottom and it's not going to be nice footage. So essential accessories, what you need when you're buying this thing, you will need this tripod screw here, which ran away. Here we go. So you will need this adapter here, very inexpensive, so order that when you'll be ordering this thing. And obviously tripod head. Now in this case I have XS source head and it looks like that, and I did overview and a review of that, and very nice head, and also just like this thing, plenty of Allen screws everywhere so you can disassemble the whole thing and do whatever you want with it. So obviously you need an adapter, you need a head, and you're set to go. And if you are really serious about this, even if you're trying out, I would recommend you to invest even cheapo friction arm to try it out. So that's the Kamera Dolly, and I'm going to show you now some shots and we're actually done with the video. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, click the like button and subscribe. Comments, feel free to ask anything you want to ask about this particular product or any products in the video, and don't forget to check my channel obviously for other videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.